us, it is extremely important for us to do something about it, to be aware of the things that are happening. And it's our duty to try to change them, to change things around us. Now, going back to the topic, here we have some principles about inclusive education. Um, okay, wait a second, I am still accepting students. So we have some principles here that are important to mention. So according to the Alliance for Inclusive Education in 2020, inclusive education is based on 7 principles. Number 1, diversity enriches and strengthens all communities, okay? That means that when we have different cultures, let's say, in a classroom, then we have the opportunity to learn more about those cultures. We can enrich our knowledge, and we can also build community among our students, and also we can also learn as teachers. We can learn things for our students. Then all learners or learners, different learning styles and achievements are equally valued, respected, respected, and celebrated by society. Now, this is basic, okay? In your lessons, in your classrooms, make sure you think about your students' learning styles, okay? For example, presenting videos, for example, asking them to read. Um, Sadly, we're not in a classroom, because if we were in a classroom, I would ask you to stand up, to make groups, to work in pairs, etc. I would have done a lot of things, because I don't like to be just talking and talking, okay? So I like to include a lot of activities in my lessons for my students' needs, for my students' learning styles. Now this one says support is warranty and truly resourced across the whole learning experience. Now, one of you was saying about the number of students in a classroom, and that is something important to take into account. Remember that when you have like 40 or like 50 or more students in a classroom, it is difficult to pay attention to one individual, So we have to think about a way of reaching everybody. So one of the recommendation in order to guarantee support, it's basically to make groups, groups of 5, 7 or more students, in order to talk with everybody, so everybody can listen and talk, and then you can support and monitor them all the time. All learners need friendship and support from people of their own age. And that's right. They need to have friends, they need support from people, of course, from their own age, All children and young people are educated together as equal in their local communities. So in a public school, for example, there shouldn't be a difference, even though somebody has more money than the other one. I mean, there shouldn't be any difference, okay? They should be educated equally. Now, inclusive education is compatible with segregated provisions both within and outside mainstream education. Now, it doesn't matter if you have somebody from China, somebody from Africa, or from other countries. You should treat them equally. You cannot discriminate people. You know what I mean? And this is mentioned. I mean, this is mentioned it because in the USA they have students from all over the world. They have Latin, they have Italian, they have Chinese people, etc. So there shouldn't be a difference. Now, here we have this. Dr. Christopher Cleworth taught in an inclusive classroom for years and offered the following broad outline for an inclusive classroom. So here are some tips for having an inclusive classroom. Now, number 1, inclusive education is nothing more than good teaching for all students. This is important, guys. It doesn't matter what kind of students you have in your classroom. What really matters is basically your teaching skills, okay? How you're gonna teach them, okay? Are you thinking about you, or are you thinking about your students? That is the question, okay? And make sure you always think about your students, okay? Think about them, think about their needs. For every activity that you plan, think about how useful or meaningful it's gonna be, and never forget that. And then you're gonna be great teachers, you know? And I'm sure that you're gonna have ups and downs. However, if you keep doing the best for your students, they would appreciate that. Now, students take responsibility for their education. They help create the structure of the classroom, including helping to establish rules. Now, as I mentioned it in the previous lesson, having them participated, you know, in the agreements, I don't call them rules, in the agreements, um, they feel committed, you know, they feel committed, and they will respect the agreements, you know, they will feel part of something, and they will respect them, you know, instead of just calling them rules and then adding done to everything. Then they, at the end, they're gonna do or misbehave, you know, easily. So it would be better if you make them part of the process. Then teachers have high expectation that all students will meet the rules and academic challenges. Now, you should set expectations, and you should involve them in the expectations, okay? So you can easily ask them, okay, what are your expectations for this year? You know, where do you want to improve? And taking that into account, they can reflect on their learning, you know, they can reflect on the way they are learning, you know, they can reflect in what part of the, you know, skills or the process they need more help, you know. Like in English, for example, if you know a student that is having a hard time with the listening, then you have to empower and help them in the listening area, you know. So that is basically it. Now here we have some advantages of inclusion, for you to check. Here we have some more advantages that you're gonna read later for the homework that I'm gonna leave for this week, and some possible disadvantage. You know, there is only one. However, I recommend you to check them later, okay? And before doing the task for this week, I want you to read this basically advantages and disadvantages. Now, for this week, what you're gonna do is this. You are going to create a video, okay, of 6 to 8 minutes. Last time it was a writing thing, you know, what's a writing thing? It was an essay, but I haven't checked yet because I'm checking like 150 more homeworks. So it's not fun. So you're gonna create a video of 6 to 8 minutes, okay? And you're going to give your opinions about this, okay? About these questions. How do teachers respond to differences among their pupils? What knowledge do teachers need in order to respond more effectively to diversity in their classrooms? What are the roles of teachers in education and ongoing professional development? And how can teachers be better prepared to work in the mixed grouping of pupils? Okay. So all of these questions, okay, are gonna be answered based on El Salvador's context, okay? Based on El Salvador's context. I know that 6 to 8 minutes is not a lot of time for the questions. However, I think that you can answer all of these questions in that time. So I highly recommend you to use your own words and your opinions, okay? Of course, you can citate, you can mention somebody, you know, some famous writer or something. However, I am interested in your words. I am interested in your opinions, okay? So this is you basically doing the activity that I just asked you to do, thinking about how to improve this, okay? So you can propose, you can give opinions, etc., okay? And after you record your video, then you're gonna upload it to YouTube or any other cloud storage, and you're gonna send me the link to Canvas, okay? Now, this is gonna be 4 points of your first lab, okay? So it's a big deal. So put a lot of love on that, and that's gonna be the homework. I don't know if you have any question.
Hi, mister.
Yes?
I have a question. Is a mandatory
To
appear in the
appear in the
video?
video, yeah, it's mandatory.
Okay.
Why is that? Because that way I know that it's actually you, the one that is talking, you know? Because some students can send me a video and then it can be somebody else. So how do I know that it's you? So, you know what
Okay,
I'm
thank
saying?
you.
Yeah. So if you are like, you know, if you are like I don't know, if you don't like to appear in the videos, or if you don't want to do it that way, what you can do is you can have just an introduction. You know what I mean? Like an introduction about about the topic, about the activity. Like for example, you can say, "Good morning, Mister. My name is Dennis Ruiz, and today I'm going to give my point of view about the 5 or 4 questions that you asked us to respond." And then if you want, you can just present something, you know, like a PowerPoint or something. I don't know. Any extra material, you know. Use your creativity, okay? So is there another question? Is there a question about the activity, guys?
No, sir.
No?
It's
Nobody?
all good. No,
No,
it's clear.
everything is clear.
Clear. Perfect. If you have any question, you can write it down in the group, in the WhatsApp group. Now I'm gonna take the time, guys, for explaining you about the practice that you're gonna have in 2 weeks. Okay, I'm gonna explain you how we're gonna do it. Okay, so pay attention, and if you have any question, you just let me know. Okay, let me know, and